Alright fellas, we're back at Pokemon Masters, and today we're going to look at Arcsuit Steven and Metagross at 6-star EX, 3 out of 5 with the EX roll unlocked. Alright, so Mr. Stone here, he really lives up to the title, right? He is a rock wall, metal wall, I guess is probably the more accurate term to use. Those defensive stats are awesome, that HP stat is awesome, those offensive stats are awesome, overall very awesome. You would think I have that scripted. No, that was just off the fucking rip. Yeah, Steven is nuts. I'm just gonna say it. I honestly do believe wholeheartedly that Arcsuit Steven's the best character in the game. Like, best sync pair. Better than Ash, Thunderbolt Red, Champion Blue, Champion Rosa, all of them. Yeah, I think he's just the best character in the game. On top of everything I already went over for the 1 out of 5 EX showcase, now he gains plus 40 before Mega Evolution in the bulk stats, I think like plus 50-ish something after the Mega Evolution in those same stats. Of course, he gains, I think, like, is it 60 HP, 80 HP, or 100 HP? I don't remember the exact stats of the support EX in terms of health. But of course, he gains support EX too, on top of, the steel rebuff, the 20% healing, and all that. He gains the support EX. And then he's got himself the grid, right? He gets, for one, power tiles with the sync nuke tile there, the other one there and there. Hello 40 HP, love that. But he also, of course, again, gains other damage things like Furious Brawn and Haymaker. So he can do some damage. Cool. Not really something to be too focused on, because again, he's more of a supportive character, but still, damage is nice. He gets Iron Head Aggravation for flinches, a lot of potion, NPR / Master Healer stuff, status immunity, Sterner stuff too, mostly it, but he's also got Head Start 1, Endure again, Trainer Move NPR for more sync moves up next, right? And like Revenge Boost and some other things, but mostly potion stuff. Starter stuff honestly is not that bad, and then status immunity. But then again, he's also got the damages and the flinch aggravation, flinching, or Iron Head aggravation. The flinching is awesome. I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure I've only got 3 battles lined up for this showcase, but they're all in very different areas. One is a solo on Champion Stadium, another is a solo against Tornadus. Yes, probably the legendary arena that he was most suspect to be able to beat, though it didn't even matter, trust me. He could do it at 1 out of 5, but no thanks. And then, who else? Argenta's ultimate battle. Yes, Argenta's ultimate battle with a triple Steven team. And I think, if I'm not really given too much in terms of quantity in the battles that I do, I think it makes up for it a bit with the quality, because that battle is so funny to me. I don't think there's much else I need to say. I want to just go ahead and hop into this showcase. Mr. Steven Stone is crazy. I love this sync pair so much. He's definitely not my favorite of the Arcsuits. I still like Cynthia more. But in terms of like the kit quality, Steven's far away the best of the 3, and in my opinion, the best character in the game. I love this. Let's go ahead and get to this showcase. Man. Alright, and the first battle is against the Argenta Ultimate Battle. One problem with this battle is that it lasts, the footage alone is 11 minutes. Good night, dude. Probably because it's mostly just like Costume Steven spam and tackle, which is exactly, the most damaging option. Either way, whatever. This just highlights, I think this highlights Steven's sustainability to a very exceptional degree, because we end up again getting like 9 sync buffs. Argenta gets like 5 or 6 sync moves off in this battle, and we just don't really care. Steven doesn't have to use potions until like at least halfway through the battle, just because the sustainability is so nuts. Of course, we get the Mega Evolution with Steven here, and he's able to, of course, buff his own defenses, apply the steel rebuff for his own damage, and of course give us synchro healing, right, and Team Trash Tank, so the whole team's able to heal really well. That's awesome. This also makes big usage of Steven's ability to do damage. Yes, because obviously 2 steel rebuff is nice. I don't know if I actually had Furious Brawn gridded. I might have. We'll see, right? Yeah, I do have Furious Brawn gridded. So the damage definitely does help, right? Otherwise, we would be relying on Anniversary Steven for damage, which, with the amount of sync buffs he gets, it's not like outright horrible damage, but you know, it's still be a far longer battle if it wasn't for the fact that Arcsuit Steven could actually do damage here. But again, his sustainability is so good. He's able to debuff the defenses, so Steven can actually do damage here. On top, well, granted, we do have Costume Steven who can actually debuff the defenses as well. But still, the defensive debuffs are really helpful. And then obviously the defensive buffs, so that we're getting the healing. Use Arcsuit Steven's sync move multiple. I use Arcsuit Steven's sync move probably 5 or 6 times in this battle. There's like 2 or 3 instances where I sync with Anniversary Steven, simply because the healing that Arcsuit Steven provides is really, really good. Also, it's going to be annoying to really have to state the difference between these Stevens because there's 3 of them. Anyway, whatever. To really mitigate the minor issue of like team speed, which isn't really that bad anyway, we've got, of course, the ability to buff our speed with Costume Steven, right? He's got like team dashing something. It's wherever you attack an enemy that has the what effect is it again? It's like actually don't know what the stat is. Whatever he applies to the enemies. Is it like no evasion maybe? Yeah, no evasion, right? He applies the sure hit stuff. Whenever you're attacking an enemy that has sure evasion, or sure hit rather, he gives the whole team speed, which is awesome. So very good for this. Whole thing is that with Argenta is that, of course, she's in rain, right? She's in rain, and she also gets damage mitigation when not affected by a status change, and she wipes trap and confusion, and she's completely immune to flinch, right? Every single turn. So you want to go for a status change that is not able to be mitigated or not be able to get rid of. So that's why things like Restrain and Rebuff is good for getting rid of her, damage mitigation, which, granted, with the amount of damage we do anyway, it looks like she's got enough damage mitigation as it is, but it's really not that big of a deal. Either way, Argenta's one big highlight of Steven's sustainability because of how she does not really spam AoE moves. Once you get rid of the sides, which are the big spammers in AoE damage, she's not really a threat, because I gave Steven Water Guard for this battle, and the Hydro Pumps can do a little bit of damage, right? But the Liquidations do pretty much nothing. And of course we do have the Trash Tank giving us the whole team's health and just even better sustainability. So we just don't even have to worry about using potions or anything like that. Like, look at that. We healed up literally all the damage that we took. And then we're already at our next sync move, where if I wanted to, I could have used Arcsuit Steven's sync move and got back to up to 90% HP, which would have been funny. Didn't have to, though. I just went with Anniversary Steven's sync move for the damage, because I do have him gridded with Clear Sync up 9, and I think, yeah, Clear Sync up 5 as well, so we're at 6 sync buffs, man, and we're still so alive, right? The only AoE move you have to deal with Argenta is the sync move, which is, again, a big highlight of Steven's sustainability, because it shows he can take repeated hits for the team to be able to heal off Team Trash Tank and be able to heal off of the Synchro Healing as well. And you don't have to worry about the enemy's attacks because he's the one taking damage, it's not the whole team, so you don't have to worry about utilizing potions on characters other than Steven, so it really does work out very well. And now we're at the point where Argenta is going to be at half health. So whenever Argenta reaches half health, she becomes immune to, she loses her rebuff, or she loses the status change that she has applied. In this case, it would be rebuff, and I don't have another way to set rebuff. So the status change I'm going to be applying is Restrain, and Sure Hit as well, but mostly just Restrain. And this does not last the whole battle. Just being honest, this does not last the whole battle, and there was no way I could have made it last any longer unless I gave Steven some grid tiles or anything like that. Which my Steven also doesn't have some of his own grid. I think he actually has Flabbergast on tackle, which would have been good for this, but I just never gridded him for it. I think it shows some strength. Anyway, whatever. I think once Argenta reaches a little bit below 30% HP, we end up actually losing the Restrain. So we actually stop being able to do damage to Argenta for the most part. We end up going down to 1% damage per attack on Argenta. We still don't care. The team still doesn't care about it. I think this is the attack that Argenta loses the Restrain. Yeah, she lost the Restrain, so now she's at 28% health, and we have to do pretty much 1% damage to Argenta every single turn, basically. Oh my god. And the funniest thing about it is that it works. We still win. I love this. I love these characters, man. I love the double Steven. I did have to use skill gear to actually have Costume Steven actually be able to survive these attacks. He did need the extra HP. I could have EX'd him, but why? I don't have a reason to. He doesn't have support EX or anything on that regard, so not really too worried about it. But yeah, whatever. This Steven's tanking is insane, man. Again, there is some things to consider here where obviously Steven's got his own 20% damage reduction from the steel, arc passive. We do have Anniversary Steven fully maxed out with all Hoenn, which gives a 26% extra damage reduction with the triple Hoenn master passive, which is they're multiplicative, not additive, which additive would have been crazy, honestly, but whatever. And that just helps even more with the team sustainability. Like, if you were to instead replace the setup with all steel types, which, granted, probably would honestly work better, like, if you had an actual setup of steel types, as long as they could, like, get rid of the weather and whatnot, right? Like, maybe Raihan. Does Raihan set up more than once? I don't actually know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Then, obviously, you'd be getting similar, results in terms of damage reduction, right? And the starter stuff. I don't know how else to really put it other than the fact that Steven just is so damn good at tanking. And this is just a 3 out of 5 Steven. Once Steven actually gets to 4 out of 5, he gets enemy debuffs, right? I'm pretty sure Argenta's St. move is physical, and because we have Costume Steven debuffing Argenta's attack to -4. Actually, I think that's special. Yeah, that's special, actually. So, if we were to actually have Steven at 4 out of 5, we would have debuffs where Argenta would be at -6 in both of her offenses. So, her Hydro Pumps would also be doing 0 damage, like her Liquidations. And we just keep spamming Arc Suit Steven's sync move. Just for the healing, man. I obviously can use potions too, but we don't need to. Oh my god. I love these characters, they're so stupid. I love the type of teams where you are just outlasting even the hardest hitting content. That's so entertaining to me every single time. And we never even break our endurance either, which is even funnier. I love that too, that we just never break the endurance on any of these characters. Like, not even Costume Steven, who has definitely got the least sustainability here. Oh, and then we end, of course, with the best sync move possible, Anniversary Steven. Letting people also, just to say it, double Anniversary Steven here technically, Rayquaza, Arc Suit Steven, both Anniversary Stevens. Neat to note. I do want to say also, I started the game on the 2nd anniversary, so Anniversary Steven does hold a little bit extra of a special place in my heart because of that. He pretty much was the character that got me in. He was the only one that I actually got of the 2nd anniversary trio on release. If you actually remember my channel back pretty much at this, a year and 9 months ago, one of my biggest shafts in the game ever was my summons for the 2nd anniversary reruns, which was, I had to pity both N and Lily. Yeah, that was fun. Go watch that banger. I think it was my most viewed video for a while until the complaints video. Very nice. Anyway, whatever. There we go. There was the battle versus Argenta. Yes, it took 11 minutes. Absolutely insane. Alright, here we are for what I feel is probably not the most impressive clear, because again, these can be done at 1 out of 5, but out of all of the legendary arenas that Steven would probably have the issues against, I would say Tornadus is the one, right? Because he doesn't have any paralysis, right? He doesn't have anything to be able to actually, hit through Tornadus's gimmicks. But he does this thing called a Not Karen. I'm pretty sure Tornadus only has 80% damage reduction, which is why I'm honestly becoming a lot less scared of Lance versus Terrakion when, that happens in probably a few hours. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. But either way, the big thing with handling Tornadus here is that Steven just doesn't really care about Tornadus' gimmicks. The most annoying thing about this clear is waiting for Steven's confusion, because that thing will confuse you with its hurricanes. The damage is the least concerning part. It's more so the fact that you may hit yourself in confusion, lose your free moves next, and it also just takes forever for moves to queue, so the battle just takes a little bit longer. This battle's like 8 minutes long. And again, Steven just does not care about Tornadus' gimmick of needing paralysis. It doesn't care that, it sets rain and uses hurricanes it can never miss. Doesn't care about that at all. And that's awesome. Oh my gosh. And we're able to hit through again that 80% damage reduction even with a character that is meant to be supportive, just because he does have multipliers. This is also probably not Steven's best grid for this battle, because I ran the exact same thing that I did when I fought Argenta. I'm running like Critical Strike 2 is lucky skill, double potion NPR master healer, which is fine, Furious Brawn. I'm running all that stuff, just the same. Just because I don't really care. Steven is a character that it's so easy and free for pretty much any legendary arena, especially at this level of investment, that it doesn't really matter what you run. There's nothing to really consider. It's just use the trainer move, use Iron Head, and then, you know, alternate between that and the buddy move until you've got all the buddy moves used, and then just spam Iron Head. And then potion when he gets to, like, I don't know, fucking like 40% health or something. That's all you really gotta do, and it's free clears. That's it. You could say this is a potion check in some regard, but I don't even know how many potions I actually ended up using. I think it might have been like... I think I actually may have only ended up using like 2? I don't remember, actually. Either way, Bar 1 is a big killer on a lot of characters that can't actually face Tornadus' gimmicks, because obviously it's got 80% damage reduction for all moves, and it's got hurricanes that never miss, it's got rain, whatever, and it becomes flinch immune, right? So you can't really hit through it, especially if you're a support character who can't really do too much damage. It doesn't really, you know, bode well for you. But when your name is Steven and you've got the stats of a damage dealer and a support, you kind of tend to be able to do it, because you actually got the bulk to sustain long enough to get through the damage reduction, and you've got yourself the damage to be able to, you know, not take a half hour to do it. Like, how long did it take to get through Bar 1? 5 minutes. That's not bad at all, especially for a lot of, you know, other clears with supports. So it's fun. And you also have the double steel rebuff to even help damage out even more in that regard. Bar 2 is not a problem, because Tornadus has special damage reduction whenever it's not affected by a status condition, so it just doesn't care. But then Bar 3 comes around, where it gets crit immunity and an extra 80%, or again, 80% damage reduction to all moves when it is not affected by a status condition. So this is where running something like, unironically, like Flux Power would be better than running Critical Strike, but it really just doesn't matter. Again, Critical Strike is useless here, but Steven's a character that doesn't really care about optimization for these Legendary Arena runs. Like, you can still run these clears at 1 out of 5. I don't know how easy the 1 out of 5 Tornadus clear is. I can't imagine it's, like, super easy. You might need some luck. I don't know. I look it up. I haven't bothered looking. But I can't imagine it's painfully difficult, especially to have been done so fast. Yeah, it's so nuts. I love this character, man. So crazy. And this is honestly probably the most annoying thing to deal with in Arc Suit Steven. This part of the battle is the confusion, where you hit yourself in confusion, you lose your free moves next, and then you have to, of course, build your gauge back to where you can use Iron Head again and just hope it doesn't miss. Or, sorry, not miss. You know, hit himself in confusion. Which is the fact that that's what you have to worry about in a clear against Tornadus. Among anything to worry about, this goes to show you how, like, free this stuff is. It's so funny, man. And there's the double hit and confusion. We gotta love that. It doesn't really matter though. So yeah, one of the few characters to be able to easily clear Tornadus without having any sort of, you know, any paralysis or anything like that, or like piercing blows or whatever. So fun, so fun, so fun. Very, very awesome character. Being able to sustain so long in an ultimate battle, and being able to sustain through one of, I'm not gonna say the hardest hitting legendarians, because I mean, frankly, you know, Tornadus doesn't seem to hit that hard, but actually, I mean, you know, Hurricane is not exactly a light hitting move. And again, rain boosted Hurricanes on Bar 1 are pretty killer for a lot of characters that can't really build up too well early on, and mostly rely upon, like, you know, maybe random debuffs or random defensive buffs or something like that. Again, Steven just doesn't care, right? If I were to have against Steven 4 out of 5, this would be even more, fucking, even more effortless. Not that it took any effort to begin with, right? But he would have the debuffs, the special attack and attack debuffs would make these Hurricanes hit like feathers, which is just, it's just nuts, really. Oh my lord. I just don't even know what to say. I don't have commentary for this anymore, other than, you know, Steven good, because duh. Maybe a lucky skill probably that would have been better for this might have been like healing entry or something. I'm not really too sure, frankly. It would have just helped a ton for the sustainability through bar 1, though, because Steven doesn't really even need it. You could run pretty much any lucky skill on this guy. You could run, like, Unbending, a literally useless lucky skill, and it just wouldn't matter. There's so many, like, there's so much lower you can go in terms of how easy to make these clears. It's so funny. I love it, honestly. Yeah, goodbye Tornadus in half an hour when you actually decide to die, and I can go commentate something else. I do really think that 4 to 5 is very, very good for it. In terms of 4 to 5 investment, it's so good. Like, those debuffs are cracked in any ultimate battles, not just for the offensive, like, you know, damage mitigation, but also, like, in Giovanni's ultimate battle, being able to get rid of the buffs. That's something that's really fun to consider too. So that's going to be very, very fun when I actually do opt to do like Steven's 5 out of 5 showcase. Which, the more I think about it, the more I kind of just want to make it a triple showcase where I make it like a 40-minute video or something and use all 3 of the champions at 5 out of 5. Not with each other, though of course I would probably do that, but I mean, just put it all in one video to where I don't have to milk extra videos from these guys, because don't worry, I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to get as much content out of these guys as I can. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but don't take it so seriously. If you were, anyway. So, yeah. There was Steven versus Tornadus. Takes a while, but not at all difficult in any sense of the word. And to finish up here, just a solo on Champion Stadium. Let's just make this effortless. Again, I tried it at 1 out of 5, but he didn't have the debuffs for it in terms of offensive debuffs or the damage just from like Furious Brawn / Haymaker or the, well, flinch rate or Potion MPRs, frankly. Potion MPRs did help this out a decent bit, and I don't know why I didn't kill a Bullet Punch earlier, but that's fine. That's fine too. It doesn't really matter. But of course, the damage really starts ramping up a lot later on in the battle. Got the Iron Head there. Got the flinch. Very sweet. But once we start debuffing the defenses here, and again, having that steel rebuff, does help a ton. We just pretty much don't care, honestly. These are strength parameters, not HP, which HP probably... HP had been better? No. Probably a better mix of strength and HP might have been better than this, because this did end up using, like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 potions, though that's not that big of a deal, honestly. So, I don't know. Whatever. It really just doesn't matter at all. I thought Tyranitar was going to Q a move, but clearly I don't know how these battles work half the time, so that's fine. Also took Steven down to Endurance, but he's got an actual nuke, so he doesn't care. Yeah, I mean, at this point, solo in Steel Week Master Mode is not really that impressive of a feat, but I mean, it shows that Steven's doing it all, right? He's just the strongest there is right now, right? I didn't know, actually, I had Haymaker gridded. Cool, 30,000 damage nuke from a fucking support. Funny. Whatever. Yeah, I mean, Steven's ability to do pretty much anything is really what helps to make him good. Like, that Argenta clear, I'm not going to say it would have been impossible, because it wouldn't have, especially if you invest Steven to 4 out of 5 where you got actual debuffs. But, like, it's... how do I word this? His damage mattered there. He had -2 rebuff for most of the battle, and he was launching off nukes under that rebuff, and he was also launching Iron Heads under that rebuff, right? Like, he was doing about consistent damage consistent with Anniversary Steven. So he's got the damage side, and of course he's got the tank side. You saw it, right? He's got this synchro healing, the defensive buffs, the team triage tank. What else do you need from a character, man? And that's why I think he's just the best character in the game. Like, Champion Blue's got very good sustainability too, especially in the burst with his buddy move. But Steven's got that small healing that just really racks up over time. And again, his repeatedly pretty much spammable buddy move. Not spammable, right, in the direct sense, but like the fact you're able to use his buddy move over and over and have it be legitimately useful with that 20% healing is honestly, in my opinion, just brings better healing, and that's one of the big things. And again, he's got the debuffs and the defensive buffs on top of it, and potions, right? Like, on-demand healing with potions, not limited to MP, is also one of the biggest things about it, right? Like, the potions are nuts. I didn't really make too much big usage of the potions here, but like, there are many battles that are clearable because of, like, you know, potion check. Like, of course you're probably gonna need a few potions for it, which is why I don't do those battles. I hate the RNG aspect of it, at least going for footage, but it still shows that Steven's sustainability is so damn good with these potions on top of everything else he provides. And I just think he's the best character. So yeah, let me know what you think about Arc Suit Steven at 3 out of 5 EX rolled unlocked. Let me know if you think he's the best unit in the game as well. But hey, if you don't, that's fair enough. I understand. There's a lot of other characters that provide different things, and the game is very versatile. So if you don't think he's the best, fair enough. But that's just me. That's just what I believe. And yeah, again, I'll see you all later. I hope you all enjoyed Lance Showcase. Sometime, I don't know, I'll get the summon for Lance out about maybe 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll see. And then I'll get the showcase out eventually. Again, I've got a party to go to, so I don't know when that'll be out, but I'll try. Can't fault anyone for doing that. See ya.